Israel could become the first ever country to be formally designated as United States' major strategic ally. The ambitious goal is apparently on the agenda at the annual American-Israeli Public Affairs Committee gathering that's kicking off in Washington, known as AIPAC. If the plan becomes legislation, it could oblige the U.S. to support Israel diplomatically and militarily if it strikes Iran. Let's now talk about whether AIPAC's bark is worse than its bite with diplomatic campaigner Robert Naiman. Thank you for being with us. I want to start with Israel, of course, being faithful, I should say, a faithful ally since the foundation of the state to the U.S. Why does it need to become official? Why the formalization?
Well, according to lobbyists associated with the American-Israel Public Affairs Committee, it has exactly to do with the coming threat of budget cuts. Under the sequester, which just went into effect on Friday, there's supposed to be across-the-board cuts to the U.S. budget. So that should mean that U.S. aid to Israel, which is substantial, billions of dollars a year, should also be cut. But the Israel lobby doesn't want aid to Israel to be cut. So their long game is that with this designation of major strategic ally, they would move things that are currently paid out of U.S. aid to Israel into the base Pentagon budget. They would argue, well, this is about the national security of the United States, so it should be in the base Pentagon budget. So the effect of that, of course, is to transfer, it's the same effect as transferring money from the Pentagon budget into the aid to Israel account. So their goal here is to exempt aid to Israel from the so-called across-the-board cuts. But of course, they don't want to announce that on the marquee because Americans are going to be told that, oh, now we have to cut, Head Start, early childhood education, because of these sequester cuts. But meanwhile, aid to Israel is going to be protected. That's going to make a lot of people in the United States very angry.
All right, so it's clear how Israel would benefit from this, but the U.S. rubber stamping this status, how do they benefit from it?
Well, they don't. This is not about the benefit of the U.S. It has nothing to do with the benefit of the U.S. This is about what you can get away with if you're a lobbyist in Washington and the American people aren't paying attention. This is about, if AIPAC and members of Congress are in a closed room, they're going to agree to one thing. If the American people don't find out about it, it's not reported in the press. The things we're talking about, this isn't in the New York Times. It's not in the Washington Post. It's in the insider press that covers this stuff, Jewish Telegraphic Agency, for example, that covers AIPAC. So outside people who follow these issues, this is not in the mainstream American media yet.
The conference, we understand, will mainly focus on Iran, which is seen as the emerging threat, like you mentioned. But the conflict with the Palestinians is very real. It has been for decades. Why isn't solving that on this agenda?
Well, it's not. The American-Israel Public Affairs Committee doesn't want to solve the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. They're completely content with the status quo. They want Israel to retain control of the West Bank. They want Israeli settlements in the West Bank to expand. So they're completely happy with that. In fact, the focus on Iran, which they did, these are the people that do a lot to drive the focus on Iran, the American-Israel Public Affairs Committee and the Israeli government, which is like, two twin brothers. This focus on Iran actually helps them change the channel from the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. They don't want anybody to think about that at all, talk about that. I was like, oh no, emergency, Iran, Iran, Iran. Don't think about, 3 million Palestinians who don't get to vote for the government that rules their lives while their neighbors can serve in the Israeli Knesset.
Robert Naiman, Policy Director at Just Foreign Policy, live with us on the line from Washington. Thanks for your analysis.